Hi, my name is Nicole. Welcome to my channel, Travel to Money. In this video, I'll talk about why I decided to sell my first home that was making a profit on Airbnb. I'll tell you about the money I made on the sale, deciding to buy another house, and how I did almost everything remotely. I'll also talk about why I love living with less, and I'll discuss why I am always questioning whether or not to be involved in real estate again. If you are new here, I have created this channel to help you learn about how to travel, adventure, and have fun on the road to financial independence. I have spent the last few years traveling the world. I paid off a house in Spain, plus I've worked smarter and harder to help me move toward financial independence. I believe that the road to financial freedom can and should be fun. I hope that you'll subscribe and join me on this journey, no matter where you are starting from. If you watched my earlier videos, you'll remember that finding my first stream of second income happened on accident as I decided to rent my first house on Airbnb to help launch me into being able to travel the world. I wasn't pursuing financial independence at this point. I just wanted to travel. I started to do the math and I was blown away by the potential. I very quickly was making a good profit, and for the first time in my life, I saw money rolling in with very little effort on my part. It did take a bit of effort to get it set up and started, but after that, it was mostly a machine. Next, I bought a house in Spain for $25,000 and then spent about $5,000 or $6,000 fixing it up. Even when I wasn't traveling, I was pet sitting for people and staying for free, continuing to rent the house as short-term vacation rental. I should also note that I rented this house on VRBO as well, which is where most of the money actually came from. But Airbnb just has the marketing down, don't they? I use their name almost interchangeably with vacation rental. It's kind of like the brand Q-tip. I don't ask for a cotton swab, I ask for a Q-tip. Marketing genius. So, in the summer of 2017, before I bought the house in Spain, I was getting ready to go on vacation to Croatia when a hurricane came through Florida. Owning a home during that hurricane became a whole other level of stress. I had guests staying at the house who helped me to prep everything, and they ended up staying elsewhere to ride out the storm. My house was on a canal and also had massive amounts of trees. The water ended up rising up above my dock, and I had fence damage and a ridiculous amount of tree branches in the yard. Thankfully, my house was spared. I ended up renting the house out through Airbnb to a family who had their house flooded in the storm. They became my longest rental, staying almost 2 months in total. I, of course, rented it out for less to accommodate their situation. It's not fun for anyone to go through a hurricane. So the next spring, when I was finalizing the purchase of my house in Spain, what I realized as I thought about the hurricane from the year before was that I was further extended financially than I was comfortable with. I had the mortgage and bills on my primary house, the personal loan payment for the house in Spain, and a bit of credit card debt that was all from getting both houses prepared to be rentals. Overall, I was turning a profit, and if everything went smoothly, I would continue killing it financially. But that hurricane made me rethink everything. I had to take a hard look at what I could afford if I only had my salary. The fact of the matter was that I was now dependent on that Airbnb income, and I realized that if a hurricane did major damage to my house or any other kind of major change, such as laws changing regarding vacation rentals, any of these things could completely flip my financial situation and leave me in some serious trouble. At the end of the day, I wasn't comfortable with the risk. Home values had begun to rise, and I began to look at what my house could sell for. I bought the house for $175,000, and with the help of my realtor, we listed it 3 years later for $240,000. I listed it for sale with all of the furniture included, so we knew there was a chance that we could get a lower offer without the furniture included. We ended up selling the house for $223,000, which is $48,000 more than what I purchased it for. So in 3 years of owning that home, I brought in around $12,000 renting a single room to a roommate for 18 months, plus $3,255 in a single room rental on Airbnb for 6 months, plus $50,524 as a full vacation rental for 1.5 years, plus about $40,000 in profit on the sale after paying realtor fees and such. In total, I was able to bring in $105,774 in gross profit. Of course, that doesn't take into account the fact that I was paying the utilities, paying for a pool cleaner, a lawn service, a property manager, property maintenance, and all sorts of other things like that. The good news is that all of those things are tax deductible when you are renting the house out as a vacation rental. I really wish I had learned more about the financial independence movement at this time, and also that I had a better handle on debt. I was not yet focused on intentionally investing. I was really just trying to travel at that time and was being blown away with how an asset could earn me a second income. If you divide the total by the 3 years, that comes to just over $35,000 per year, which is not nothing for one house. I was in Spain in early 2018 when I decided to sell the house, contacted my realtor friend, and he had it quickly listed for me, even though I was out of the country. When we got the offer, because they decided not to buy the house with the furniture in it, I began thinking about what to do next. Honestly, I have a big problem. I love doing new things. I can't stop. I love a new project and I love to make big changes. It's just the way that I'm wired. So I decided to buy another house. I wanted something smaller and less expensive. I told my realtor what I was looking for. I was still in Spain renovating the house I had just purchased there, and I would scour home listings on my phone for hours. My realtor ended up sending me something that hadn't hit the listings yet, and when I saw it, I knew I loved it. My realtor went out to the house for me and sent me videos of what it looked like. Now, for the third time, I decided to make an offer on a house I hadn't seen. Y'all, I need help. I made the purchase of the home for $106,000. This time, due to the profit on the other house, I was able to put a 20% down payment. Honestly, the main reason I decided to purchase a home at this time was that selling all of my stuff or having to pay for storage sounded like a nightmare. I figured I could also rent this house out on Airbnb, live there comfortably myself, or I could get a roommate. I had options, and with a much less expensive house, with a much less expensive payment, and way less maintenance, it just put me in a more comfortable position. I learned a lot of lessons owning this second house in Florida as well. Overall, the worst mistake I've made in home purchases has regarded the location of the homes. You know, the experts always say not to buy a home in a bad location. I tend to agree, but after owning 3 homes, all in not so great locations, I've got to say you can still make money if you do it right. The problem for me has not been the profit. The problem for me has been the neighbors. I'll be sharing soon about what I did next with that house and how I found creative ways to make money. I'll talk about my nightmare neighbor story, plus the unexpected second job that I got that also provided housing. I've done a lot with real estate over the last few years. I currently only own the house in Spain, and it's paid off. Because I love a new project, I'm always considering real estate options. But I've got to say, I also like the freedom that comes from not having the responsibility of real estate. I recently read the book, Quit Like a Millionaire. In it, the authors describe why owning real estate has not been part of their FIRE journey. If you don't know, FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. This young couple retired in their early 30s, and they travel the world without having to work. I didn't even begin my FIRE journey until 40, so it's not really about age, it's what you decide to do with the time you have. Anyhow, there is another family I watch on YouTube with a channel called Our Rich Journey. They began their FIRE journey around 30 years of age and retired at 39. A big part of their initial financial boost came from real estate. And I guess that is one of the things I love about working toward financial independence. You can be creative and make something work for you. So how do you feel about real estate? Let me know in the comments if it is part of your journey to financial independence, or if it's something you plan to avoid. I honestly don't know if my future will include more real estate or not. Sometimes I think I'll keep my house in Spain, and other times I think I'll sell the house and invest the money. Neither way is wrong. One thing I do know is that I trust my gut and I keep my options open. I want this journey to be creative and fun. I want your journey to be what is best for you. If I can help you at all, please let me know, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to join me on this adventure where travel and fun build financial freedom. I can't wait to see where your dreams will take you.